It all started on January the 2nd of the year 2021 when Limpward uploaded his first ever video. He started his journey in Lumbridge. He was not allowed to leave his chunk until he completed every possible task there. He got 99 woodcutting and 99 defense without ever leaving Lumbridge. And thus the first ever chunk account was created. It was a huge hit, the community loved it. And in the years that followed, countless chunk accounts popped up, all in their own starting chunk. And all of them, Iron Man. Welcome to Extreme One Chunk Iron Man. Normal man. Yeah, I'm just a normal account. I needed to do something different. So I thought, what happens if I make a chunk account that can trade? Now super quick the rules of the account. I'm following Limpward's extreme rule set. Skill capes? Absolutely. Pets? I got you. Achievement diaries, quests, rare unique drops. Everything. Now how do I handle the GE when it comes to tasks? Well, I will say that I have access to every tool in the game. This also includes stuff like knives, chisels and molds. However, materials are considered chunk specific. So although I could buy some runite ore, I do not need to smith a runite plate body. Until I find some runite ore in my chunks, of course. Then 99 smithing it is. Now, with those rules in mind, our chunk has the following tasks. For the medium wilderness achievement diary, we need to talk to the emblem trader. And for scaling challenges, we have 15 woodcutting to chop some oak logs, 15 fire making to burn some oak logs, and 27 fletching to fletch a oak shield. Alright, let's get to work. In order to basically get started with our adventure, I was hoping we could pick up literally anything from the ground. Like these ashes might already be enough. And all you want is to buy a bronze axe here or an iron axe. Then we can start making our own money from that point on. How much do these ashes sell for? Is that enough for an axe? No, it is not. Just barely not. Ah, there's more ashes. We should be fine here. Yeah, this should be plenty to get our first iron axe. From that moment on, we're set. There we go. 300 GP. And then we can say iron axe. And here we go. We have our iron axe. Okay. Alright, let's chop some trees. There is our first level 2 woodcutting. And that is the first mob we ever killed. Oh wow, a yellow beet. That actually sells for 1000 GP. That's good. Alright, we have 5 woodcutting. That means we can wear a steel axe. Let's go and get that. Let's sell all of our logs for now. And there we go, a steel axe, our first upgrade. Cool. Alright, we got ourselves a tinderbox so we can start working on that level 15 fire making. Alright, that is both level 15 fire making and wood cutting. That went pretty quick as expected. Now let's go ahead and chop our oak log and burn our oak log. I think I saw an oak tree right here. Yes, perfect. There is our first oak log. Let's set it on fire. There we go. And it also gives us level 16 fire making. Cool. Now let's start working on 27 fletching. So I bought a knife from the G and started fletching some logs into arrow shafts. And then I realized, wait a second, those arrow shafts are pretty worthless. But if they're worthless, I can also straight up buy them. And feathers are also really cheap. So already the fact that we are not an Iron Man is paying off very early in the account. We can just make headless arrows, maybe all the way up to level 27. We'll see how far we get. Oh wow, and headless arrows are actually worth more. Like, this is a low-key money maker. An arrow shaft is 1 GP. A feather is 2 GP. And then a headless arrow is actually 9 GP. So yeah, nice. We got our first moneymaker, I guess. There we go, 12k. Okay, we can just go ahead and do that again. This is probably a good point to talk a bit more about the trading. I was already able to buy a Steel Axe upgrade, and now I'm buying the supplies to train my fletching. This makes a huge difference. While usually chunk accounts have very slow progress, I will be able to speedrun through most chunks. We might actually become the first chunk account to complete the entire map. Therefore, the goal of this account isn't so much to pull off crazy impressive grinds, but more to explore the world one chunk at a time. Truly look into every nook and cranny, find odd interactions and lesser known dialogues. There is so much content in this game that isn't part of any quest or covered in the collection log, and I'm about to uncover all of it. If that's something you're interested in, the best way to join this exploration trip is to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now with this new exploration mindset, let me give you a quick tour of the chunk. Follow me! I'm sure I will show you at least one thing you didn't know yet about this chunk. Let's start at the center. Here are the clerics for trading and the bankers for, well, yeah, banking. Since I am not an Iron Man, I can actually trade with the clerics. Right behind them, we have a poll booth for voting on future game updates. And the loot chest, where filthy PvPers get their loot after ruthlessly murdering us. All around the GE are these guides that tell you the prices of different items in the game. When I was a kid, I thought these guys were the most useful NPCs in the entire game. Just north of the GE there is Perdu, one of the many places where you can buy back lost quest items or similar things. He is kept company by the Emblem Trader, a spooky old man always on the look for ancient artifacts. In the southeast there is the Clan Hub, where players get introduced into clans and can quick travel to their clan hall. In the southwest there is a games room where you can play board games with other players. Sadly, as far as I know, no one ever does this. I would really like to try out those board games. The northwest is pretty empty. There is a tunnel that goes under the wall and a trapdoor that quick travels to Keldagrim, a cool dwarven city. In the northeast we find Abigaila, a refugee from Mauritania. You can look into her scrying ball to spectate parties doing the theater of blood. Here we can also find a spirit tree. Did you ever notice how scary looking this thing is? Just east outside of the GE, we are nearing the edge of our chunk. Here we walk into the courtyard of Raldo's castle. There are 2 body runes on the ground near our entrance. A little south of it we find 3 conveniently placed oak trees. This is the source of all of our chunk tasks. Chop some oak logs and do all the things a Runescape account can do to them. At the main entrance of the GE we find James, a guide to Runescape bonds. On the left of him we find a small wheat field and, oh my days! As I am recording this intro, a crop circle spawns. I didn't know they can spawn in such a tiny field. However, we need level 1700 to enter into the magical implant of Puro, so this doesn't give any new tasks. Now although we can walk all the way around the outer wall, there isn't much here for us. However, at the very end we find our last random fun fact of the chunk. If you knew everything up until now, I bet you didn't know about this one. There is a random earth rune spawn on the ground here. Like, why is this even here? Now, where were we again? Oh yeah, Fletching, of course. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep on fletching my headless arrows, actually generate a tiny bit of GP, and yeah, get my way to level 27 like that. That's level 18 already. Alright, I just finished fletching 4,000 headless arrows. Let's see for how much that sells. 40k, we have 46k. I was not expecting to get this rich this quickly. Really nice. We only need 3 more levels, so that's gonna be, I guess, let's do 1500 more headless arrows. Oh wow, we actually bought out the entire market for arrow shafts. Like the normal price is 1 GP, we are buying them at 2 GP and they are completely bought out. That's crazy. And this should bring me, yeah, there it is, level 27. And I already have the oaks. So, boom, oak shield, that is the skilling. Wait, yeah, there we go. Skilling task completed, cool. With all the skilling tasks done, All that remains is a wilderness achievement diary task. Meet me in Demons if you would like to buy reward. Ah, well done, you completed the diary tasks. Okay, perfect. That is all official chunk tasks completed. But there are 2 side quests that I also want to do. As I said, this account is about more than simply completing the hardest challenges. I want to explore and do absolutely everything. So let's take a look at those board games that nobody ever plays. My friend here didn't want to be in the video, so I'm just gonna call him Jim for you guys. I can challenge him for a game by simply right-clicking him. First up is Runesquares, otherwise known as the famous game Dots and Boxes. The goal of this game is to fully enclose all 4 walls of a square. At first we were just placing stuff at random, but then on the end I actually started using my brain. No matter where I placed a wall, I would always give Jim multiple squares. There were 3 big square fields left. Whoever got the last big one would win the game. However, by placing my wall like this, I gave Jim 2 smaller fields, forcing him to give me the final big field. Game 1 goes to GE's nuts. Now for the second game, Runeversi, otherwise known as Reversi, but I know it by the name Roll It. This is a game where you need to surround the enemy pieces by putting your piece at the beginning and at the end of the line in order to capture their pieces. Diagonals are allowed, chain reactions are not allowed. I actually got some experience playing this game as a child, and it was Jim's first time. So after I got 2 corners and a lot of the squares on the sides of the game was pretty much over. 2 for 2, take that Jim! Now for the last one, Draughts. Yeah, this is just checkers. And I suck at checkers. I made an early big mistake and surrendered quickly after. Now there is one more game you should be able to play, but it didn't work for me. According to the wiki, this is RuneLink, which is just Connect 4. All in all, I actually was a bit disappointed by the board games. I was hoping for something unique and new, but all of these were just famous games I've already played before. But hey, it's still cool to finally see what the game room is all about. Oh, and one thing I forgot in my tour of the G. In this room there is also a Saradominist and a Zamorakian Recruiter. They can teleport you straight to Kosovars. Pretty convenient. But for obvious reasons I didn't do that one. Now there is one final side quest chunk task left, which is joining a clan. Of course, the clan corner is right here in the GE as well. What other clan to join than the famous One Chunk clan, a chunk full of chunkers. So I've never joined a clan before. I don't know how it goes. Let's just go ahead and try it. One Chunk clan seems to be the name. One Chunk clan. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, we are in the One Chunk clan. That's pretty easy. Look at all of the chunkers. Cool. Well, it's official. I'm a real chunker now. Let's see if we can visit the clan hall, or if they have a clan hall. There is no such clan. What do you mean? This is the clan I'm currently in. It's my own clan. Enter member. You are not a member of a clan. Oh, I'm just in the chat. I'm not yet inside of the clan. I never used the chat functions in old school Runescape, but I'm pretty sure this is the clan chat. You are not chatting in the channel of your clan at the moment. Ah, there we go. I think this is the clan chat. Yeah, seems like it. Alright, so I did quite a bit of chatting in the clan chat, and it looks like I need to apply to become a member of the clan via the Discord. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Apparently this is the queue for people that want to join the clan. As you can see, there's already 15 people waiting in line. I'm just gonna join the queue. I've asked if I can join the waiting pool. And yeah, whenever I get to the top of the queue, I apparently will be allowed to join. So it might take like up to an entire month, as you can see here, which is fine. So for now, I'm gonna have to backlog this chunk task. But yeah, whenever I can join, I will join. Now that is everything done. Awesome. Alright, here we are in the chunk map. Both the chunk on the right and on the left are gonna be pretty long chunks to start with. On the right we have the sewers with scurries inside and we have yew trees. On the left we also have yew trees and another dungeon within that dungeon, Obor, which is also a really long grind. The north is pretty much empty as far as I know, and the south, I don't think there's anything meaningful in the south either. So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting either left or right, but it's not up to me. Let's just see what happens. Okay, let's set this as rollable, 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 rollable. Everything is rollable. And let's pick a chunk. I am sorry, but I'm not gonna show the roll quite yet. To see that, you're gonna have to watch the next video, which will be out, I think, pretty soon. Because, as you can see on my stats, I am already grinding away in my next chunk. It's just gonna be a bunch of editing to complete it. But yeah, the next chunk is gonna be pretty nice. I'm happy about it. That's all I can say for now. And that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. This is the most time I've put into a video yet, so I really hope you guys enjoy the video and you'll be here for my next one. Later!